Dumelang, lebitso la ka ke Pile Mathabo Maswabi ho tswa Econet Telecom Lesotho. Jwalo ka ha le se le tseba, Econet Telecom Lesotho e na le foundation e leng hore e thusa bana ba hlophehileng le bana ba dikgutsana ka ho ba isa sekolong le ho ba fa ditlhoko tse ding tse leng hore ba na le tsona. Letsatsing la kajeno re na le e mong wa barutwana bao kileng ga ba thusa under HigherLife Foundation Lesotho. Ena ke Lerato Takana. Lerato Takana o ile a kena ka hara HigherLife Foundation Lesotho ka selemo sa 2014 mme ra mo thusa ho fihlela a iphumana a kene mane University ya Harvard. Ha jwale o na le dintho tse ding, di-project tse ding tseo a leng hore o ntse a di etsa tse leng hore di tlo mo thusa hore le yena ka mokgwa tshwanang jwalo ka ha Econet Telecom Lesotho e ile a mo thusa ka hore a kgutletse setjhabeng, le yena ka mokgwa tshwanang o batla hore a kgutletse setjhabeng. Mme ditaba tsa hae o se a tla di bolela hore na ho tsamaile jwang, mme hona jwale o tlo tlameha hore a etse jwang, a ye ho kae, university e feng, a lo ithuta eng.
Okay. My name is Lerato Takana. I am 25 years old, turning 26 pretty soon. I live at Apatamai. I was born and raised there at Apatamai. I went to high school at Sifika High School from 2009 to 2014. Throughout those years, I was pretty much sponsored by my parents, but fortunate enough in 2014 I got picked by HigherLife Foundation. Through their generosity, I was able to become that cohort of students who are sponsored by HigherLife Foundation. And then from 2014, what happened is that in 2015, because of the time differences, I sort of took a gap year while HigherLife was still preparing for me to try and enroll in schools outside of the country. And so I got picked to be part of the cohort of students who were going to go to Waterford. And I interviewed and got very successful, and I was able to go to Waterford Kamhlaba UWC in 2016 to 2017. So I went there, I did my IB, and I spent 2 years there. Upon finishing in 2017, because I was among the top achieving students at Waterford, I was given an opportunity to teach there for 8 months while I was waiting to go to university in the US. And then so post my internship there at Waterford, I went to the US and I went to Harvard University from 2018 to 2022. So I recently just graduated in May, and I graduated with a bachelor's degree in physics. So throughout my journey, obviously HigherLife has been a critical part of it. I want to give a special thanks to, I want to say, I'm very, very grateful to HigherLife Foundation for what they have done for me. I don't know what they saw in me, but I want to count myself as pretty lucky. I don't think I'd be where I am today if it wasn't of HigherLife Foundation. They took me in to be their child. I wasn't just a student that they were sponsoring, that they threw out into the woods and said, go get an education, go pass. But they were pretty much there as parents. They were providing guidance, they were providing career guidance, they were providing all sorts of support that you can think of, from when we say we have problems with at home, maybe things are not going well with the family, they'll be there to support you. You don't have clothes, they're always there to support you. So pretty much I'm not a HigherLife scholar, but I want to consider myself as the child of HigherLife. Even when I was at Waterford, the similar things still happened. They still provided that immense support. They were there with us throughout the entire journey. Even when I went to Harvard, even though when I was at Harvard, the scholarship was pretty much covered by Harvard University, HigherLife was still there. They made sure that I got to Harvard safely, so they paid for my transport to go to Harvard. And when I got there, they made sure that I was able to settle in very well in the initial stages. And then throughout my time at Harvard, they were always checking in as well, making sure I'm making the right decisions with my career as well, providing as much career support as they possibly can. So now that I'm back at home, I'm still as well a part of HigherLife Foundation. So part of what we also do is to go around schools in Maseru where HigherLife sponsors kids, and we go there to give some motivational speeches and try to motivate kids with our own stories. Because again, I don't consider myself to be a special, I can say I'm any different from other people. It's just that I'm blessed. My story is like similar to any child. So I'm saying to you who is out there who is attending a government school and looking at all these international schools which are deemed as the best universities in the world and thinking to yourself, oh my god, I can never make it there, I want to tell you that it's possible. Take it from me, think of me as an example, think of me as a testament that it is possible, because I went to a government school myself. So Speaker High School is a government school, but look at where I went from Speaker High School, which is a government school, to an international school which is part of this cohort called the UWC schools, which is considerably among the best UWC IB schools in the world, and then from there made it to the best university, which is Harvard. So just as a bit of more inspiration, I live by one of my favorite quotes from Nelson Mandela, which says, with education you can conquer the world. So I am going to continue my studies in the US, where I am going to do a PhD in physics at Stanford University. So this is again to emphasize that these things are pretty much possible. To be honest, when I was starting my career, I didn't think that I would be at Stanford doing a PhD for that matter. So I want to say everything is possible. When you believe, you have to just believe in yourself. But most importantly, you have to understand that there's a bit of sacrifices that you need to do in order to get to where you want to go in life. Another quote that I live by, it's one that says, you sacrifice today for what you want tomorrow. So if you really want to achieve something in life, you really want to be successful, you have to be prepared to sacrifice. There's no way that you can achieve something if you don't sacrifice for it. Similarly, as I think about my PhD, it's going to take about 5 to 6 years, but again, I'm prepared to make that sacrifice, because at the end of the day, I believe that my PhD will bear very, very fruitful rewards at the end of the day. So yes, besides school, thanks to Liberal Arts College, which is Harvard University, they don't just teach me to be a physicist, but they sort of teach you and help you to think about the world in a broader perspective. And so I am involved in agriculture. I think we can all agree that if there's anything that's going to rescue Lesotho from this depressed economy, it's going to be agriculture. But it's not just going to be agriculture, but it's going to be advanced agriculture that incorporates technology in it. And not just any kind of technology, but sustainable technology. So I thought it would be a great time for me to also venture into agriculture. So where I'm standing, where I'm making the interview right now, it's inside our farm where we do hydroponics. We do it through a company called Afriponics. It's a company that was started by 3 guys from Harvard, myself, a guy from Rwanda, a guy from Zim, and also we sort of included a young Lesotho lady as well to become part of our team. So what we do in here in the farm is we specialize in hydroponics farming. Essentially, hydroponics farming is where you farm using solely water. There's no soil at all. So think about it as water replacing the soil. So we grow the plants in water, and what we simply do is add nutrients, and then we also, the only 2 main things we check will be your pH, will be your EC, where you sort of try to balance and make sure that it's the right conditions for the crops to grow. Obviously, we're still very small and we're still starting, but where we want to go at the end of the day is with the hydroponics farm is that we want to also put up solar panels where, like I said, we want it to be we want to be involved in sustainable agriculture. So we're going to put up solar panels, and with these solar panels, what we hope to do is obviously power our greenhouse and our entire farm, but is also to sell electricity to the community next to our farms. We are obviously currently specializing in lettuce. However, we are going to then diversify our crops and grow other leafy vegetables. So we're starting with leafy lettuce right now, but we're going to venture into other crops as well. E.g., I think we're going to be venturing into things like spinach as well, where we're going to be growing those leafy lettuce. So this project, we're very lucky. We wouldn't have been able to establish this with our own money because it's quite expensive to establish something as big as this. Just to put a number to it, it cost us something close to 130,000 rands to be able to build the farm that we're in right now. And without revealing too much, it's just to say we've been in operations for about a year now, and we have been operating within that budget, that estimated budget of about 130 to 150,000 rands. I will say that it's quite an expensive sort of project to start. But the beauty is once you have started, it's it's pretty much easy to run, and it's not very costly once you're running it, because again, you're using less water than you would use in your ordinary plots where you grow with soil, because once you put the water in here, it's in there until you harvest, and then you have to discard the water at the end of the harvest. So I consider it to be a pretty much cheap system. Another beautiful thing that we do, which is what I would like to inspire other young Basotho who are establishing companies and also bigger companies to do, is to offer young Basotho kids internships. So what we do here as well is that in the winter, from June to August, when schools are closed, when universities are closed, is that we offer internship to students from NUL who are studying agriculture. We just ended our internship program. We started the internship program this year, starting off with 3 students. Because I'm a HigherLife student, obviously I had to start somewhere. So using what I learned from HigherLife, which is the art of giving back, I decided to go start an internship with 3 students from HigherLife Foundation. But obviously, as we grow and we grow bigger, we're going to expand our internship program to include all agricultural students who qualify to be part of our internship program, who study at NUL. But for now, we're still sort of studying with HigherLife students. As I did emphasize, I'm a child of HigherLife, so I have to recruit my siblings as well to become part of what we do here. And so, in a way, to sort of wrap up my story, end up my story, is to say I'm a child like you are. I'm an ordinary Mosotho like you are. I don't think there's something special about me that sets me apart from you. So I want you to feel that wherever you are, whatever struggles you're going through, it is possible if you put your mind to it. If you sort of sacrifice, like I said, because you have to sacrifice today for what you want tomorrow. If you do the right sacrifices, you will at the end of the day reap very fruitful rewards at the end of the day. Another thing is humility. You can never go anywhere if you think you're better than other people. It's nearly impossible. You have to be very humble. You have to respect other people so that they can respect you as well. And through humility and respect, you will be able to interact with people very well. You'll be able to learn from people. Also, people will be able to learn from you because they know that you're someone who's very humble and someone who sort of pays attention to other people. And that's my story. Thank you.